And I'm Sandra Turgot.
Excellent, excellent. So this
Wait,
edition,
we weren't live yet. Look now. We're live. Wait.
good evening. We're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Beyond Talk. I'm Aaron George.
And I'm Sandra Turgot. Sorry.
Excellent, excellent. So this is Beyond Talk, walking with purpose in uncertain times. And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, Beyond Talk is a social mentoring forum designed to engage our community in thought-provoking conversation about real-life issues, triumphs, pain, grief, growth, success. This space is designed to inspire you and to foster transformation and healing. We believe life is a big classroom where teachers and learners are interchangeable. Our mission is to inspire you to go after your healing so you can transform. One of the greatest tragedies in life is to lose your authentic self and accept the version of you that is expected by everyone else.
Wow. Isn't that powerful?
Yes.
So in these uncertain times, one thing we don't want to do is to lose ourselves, because it's very easy to lose ourselves and lose our faith and
Definitely.
and lose our hope. And that's
Definitely.
what we're having this conversation, how we can stay true to ourselves, even when the days seem dark, because it seems like dark days, right?
Absolutely. And we want to be unshakable,
But
regardless of what situation or circumstances surround us.
yes, amazing. And tonight we really want to come on Beyond Talk, want to really come on to talk about hope in uncertain times, and really how we maneuver that and how we go about that. And with that, we wanna introduce our guest, Lady Wisdom.
Lady Wisdom.
Oh, to our show.
Hello, guys. I
Hi,
am
Lady
super
Wisdom.
happy to be here. Hi, everyone. Hello, Aaron and
Welcome.
Sandra. Nice to
Welcome.
see you guys. And
Hey,
howdy to all of you that's watching us today live. I mean, if the times aren't uncertain now, then I don't know when else we've ever had uncertain times. When I know from my times, this is as uncertain as it's ever been.
wow.
Yes,
So we want to
definitely.
come by and shed, just to give you guys some hope and encouragement as how do we maneuver through these times? How do we flow through these times? And in case y'all don't know who I am, I'm Lady Wisdom. I'm an intuitive guide and spiritual advisor. I connect the being with the self and the highest version of who they are. So stay
Nice.
tuned.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome, Lady Wisdom. We're glad to have you on Beyond Talk this evening, and we're looking forward to the conversation.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Excellent. Excellent. So we have a special guest with us tonight, and her name is Natabo Nkube. And here she is.
Yes. Happy to see you.
Happy to see
Excellent.
you guys. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello,
Natabo.
hello.
Introduce yourself to our audience tonight.
So, my name is Dr. Tabo, and I do believe that I'm here at such a time as this to inspire hope, to empower humanity, and to raise consciousness at such a time as this. As Tiffany already mentioned, um, we're living at, this period right now. There's so many things that are going on in the world, which is basically bringing us so much anxiety. The times are so uncertain, so we're just here to shed some light and to have a conversation that is going to give us hope, particularly at this time.
Excellent. Excellent. Welcome. We're looking forward to the conversation. And so I guess basically what we want to do is just before we get into the heart of it, we just want to know individually, how are you guys coping? What is your impression when this pandemic, was first announced and now it's here? It's become our reality here in the GTA. What were some of the things that the thoughts that you were having or the feelings that you were having? Lady Wisdom?
Interesting enough, I was having a conversation with Sandra a couple weeks back, and I said to her, this sort of thing is kind of my life every day.
Oh,
I
wow.
am being forced even now more than ever to honestly live in the power of my spiritual truth. Because when things around you begin to fall apart and everything around you is so uncertain, you've got absolutely nothing to hold on to but your faith. So if ever there was a time where, um, whether it be scriptures of old or whether it be new age mantras, anything that will help to keep the mind at peace and keep you still, this is a time when that word becomes flesh. This is a time when you hold on to, I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect. All things are unfolding for my good. This is exactly how I've been moving through it. And these are the thoughts that I wake with on a daily basis. And it's more than anything else, my faith in the universe, my faith in God has moved to the forefront of my being more than ever.
Wow. So that's very very a strong sense of confidence in your faith and your belief in who you are, and that you're going to make it through no matter what time it is. Excellent. Thank you for that. And
I'm
Natabo?
here. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yes, we can
Sandra.
see you.
Hi, Sandra.
Welcome
Hi.
back.
I don't know what happened. I just disappeared. I'm so sorry.
So,
Welcome back.
for me,
Welcome
Okay.
back.
Thank
Sorry, go
you.
ahead, Natabo.
welcome back, Sandra.
Thank you.
For me, Aaron, I've been asking myself the big question: what do these times mean to us? What is this period? What is it saying to us? And that is the question that I've been asking for myself. And really, what comes to my spirit when I ask myself that question is that the universe, the earth, is healing. The universe is calling us to take a pause, to go within ourselves, individually and collectively as well, to ask ourselves the big question: who are we? What are we
Mm.
here to do?
Mm-hmm.
For me as an individual, it's asking myself, am I in alignment with my truth?
Yes.
Am I living a life of purpose? Am I in alignment with that which the divine has called me to do and to be?
Mm-hmm.
And collectively, I'm asking myself, what does it mean to the structures and systems that are in place right now?
Mm-hmm.
What healing do we need? Be it is the capitalist system, whatever it is, the structures that are in place. Those are the questions that I've been asking myself. So I know this for sure that the universe is calling us to take a pause,
Mm,
to
Yes.
look within
Yes.
ourselves and ask ourselves this question. Everyone
Wow.
is welcome.
that
That's
is
some.
powerful. That's powerful.
You
Yeah.
want to speak to that, Aaron?
Yeah, well, you know what? You're right. We are all taking a pause. We're off our routines, and we have some time to reflect and to go within, and that's what I've been, most impactful for me, because most days, normal time, I'm not even home in the evenings. I'm on the road, doing business or something or whatever. But the last week or two is like I'm home, no place to go.
Is
So
that
you
a
have
good
no
thing?
choice.
That's a good thing.
What's that?
Is that a good thing?
It's a good
Being
thing.
home and no place
It's a
to
good
go.
thing, and it's a good thing that I have done all the work prior. Otherwise, I would be, maybe stressed out. Like Lady Wisdom had talked about earlier. Just having that confidence in your beliefs, and in yourself, and it's for me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
all the fears, the internal fears are not there. And if I was in a fearful state, then, my life would really be, in a different place right now mentally. Right.
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 And
Right. Right. Right.
speaking of that, Aaron, what comes to my spirit as well is that all things are as they should be.
Right.
There are
Yeah.
no
Mm-hmm.
coincidences in
Yes.
what is happening individually in our lives, but also in the world.
Yes.
Mm.
We just
Definitely.
have to take a position, surrender to that which is happening, observe it, and allow things to be as they are,
Right. Right.
and allow
Right.
nature to take its course while
Definitely.
Wow.
remaining hopeful, of course.
I'm trying to get back in my laptop. So let's talk about. I know I missed some of it, so I don't know what you guys said before, but let's talk about our feelings, because I think um a lot of people are feeling a lot. There's a lot of emotions going
Yeah.
through people, and because let's face it, when you don't know what tomorrow brings, it causes a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, and what we're talking about, uncertainty. And so we're on here, and we know we had some feelings, didn't we? Because I
We
had
all
some.
we all have. We all have. And the amazing thing is that whether it be your faith or your belief system, it has nothing to do with perfection in thought. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
you'll never have a worry thought, or you may never feel fearful, or you may not experience anxiety.
Right.
The truth, however, is what you know to be in your heart. The truth is that you are loved,
Mm-hmm.
you're protected, you're being
Mm-hmm.
called to align yourself with God's source spirit, the universe. And in aligning yourself in that way, this is how you're able to flow and operate in more confidence. Even if, even if you get up tomorrow and it feels hopeless, hold on to that which you know to be truth, that I am protected, I am guided, I am loved, I am whole, I am complete. Things are unfolding as they should. You're not out here by yourself.
Hmm.
You are not out here by yourself. So for this moment, I just want to say to those of you who have close relatives, or excuse me guys, my
Tiffany, we can't hear you.
Oh, looks like she's frozen now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
she's having some problems with the phone. All right, we'll wait for her to come back in.
Wow, but that was powerful. I
Yeah.
love the words that she used when she said that we have to hold on to the truth, that we're protected even at this time, that
Right.
we're being guided
Yeah.
Right.
to the higher versions of who we're called to be. Basically, the
Yeah.
light is there,
Yeah.
and we're going through this process for a reason, and ultimately it's a new earth. The universe is giving birth to a new earth and making room for new thought leaders to come in, light workers all over the world, to take their position and raise consciousness all over the world.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love what you just said. Oh, welcome back.
thank you. Technology, it's
So
what it is.
I know. So let's tell our viewers that we're trying this because everybody's online. It's a new day, and so we're joining the bandwagon and we're streaming online, and of course we're dealing with internet technology,
Right.
and of course it's not perfect because everybody is online. So be with us, guys, as we bring the show to you this way. Thanks to Chief for allowing us this platform that we're in our homes. Aaron, you're in your house. Where are you right now?
I'm on my dining room table.
Tapo, where are you right now? I see this amazing African flag, African map.
I'm
The
I'm home.
world.
Yes,
You're home,
I'm home.
sitting by your map of Africa
Yep, yep. I'm home in my room.
in your room. Wow,
Yep.
that's a beautiful portrait in your
The
room.
map always reminds me of my calling. It keeps me
Mm.
grounded.
Mm,
Oh,
Ah,
beautiful. So you get up
Yeah.
every day to Africa in your bedroom.
just like that,
Yeah.
eh?
And what about you, Tiffany? Where are you?
I'm in the beautiful downtown Toronto. This is where the life happens.
nice, nice.
Is it happening tonight? What does it look like outside?
Well, of course, we know that with social isolation happening, there's not any gatherings or anything of that sort that's really going
Hmm.
on. But Toronto has always been a very live and vibrant city. And that's what I love about it. So, yes, I'm
Hmm.
speaking to you guys live from downtown Toronto.
Awesome,
Amazing,
awesome.
amazing. And I am in my living room in a little tiny corner here. Pop myself a little tiny corner. But again, thank you guys for doing this. And thank you, Chief.
Listen, it's our pleasure. It's all our pleasure.
Yeah.
You know what? But before I got cut off a few moments ago, I wanted to send love and light to those who have somehow contracted the virus,
Oh,
those who are just getting over it,
Yeah.
those who have lost family members. What we are not saying is that there wouldn't be a hurt and pain. We're not saying that. Neither am I saying that I'm perfect. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that. And perfection, again, as I will go back to, meaning that it doesn't mean that every day I get up with strong thoughts. It doesn't mean I have a core belief, yes, but the mind has a tendency to do what it wants to do. So, what I'm saying to you right now is that if you're going through the roller coaster of emotions, know that this is normal. It is a part of being human. But
Yeah.
what I want you to not do is to lose hope. I want you to have faith. And again, I want to send love and light to all of the families who are dealing with this right now. And again, who may have lost anyone due to this virus.
That's
Awesome.
beautiful.
Thank
That's
you. That's
beautiful.
wonderful.
And that's coming from all of us. We all feel that way.
Definitely.
From all of us. All right. So Tiffany and I were having a conversation this week because as we were talking about feelings and I'll be honest, I don't know, for last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been feeling really sad. And I don't I was saying to Tiffany, I couldn't explain why I was feeling this sad. And we exchanged thoughts about that. And she was saying she's been having some feelings too. And those feelings, if you want to call them anxiety, sadness, but I also something was revealed to me. I also believe that because did we lose somebody, Aaron?
Aaron.
Because we're empaths and we're sensitive beings, we feel a lot, and sometimes we can't put words to those feelings, right? Do you agree?
That's true. That's
I
true.
I feel like I was in that space. It was like the world was shutting down and everything was going crazy, and
Mm-hmm.
feeling like, and I can't help, and I can't do anything but stay home, like they say, or get in my car, drive to work, drive back home, and it took a toll on me. So I'm just gonna be honest. I am hopeful, like you said. It's the truth that you know within, but the emotions are going to come. But you continue to hold on to that truth, that hope that this too shall pass, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, Tabo, you agree?
I do agree. And I think, Sandra, what happens is for a lot of us spiritual people, positive people, we always think that just because we're positive, we're not supposed to feel hopeless sometimes. It's okay for us to
Yeah.
feel hope, to feel hopeless, to feel anxiety. It's part of the process to you evolving into your higher self.
Hmm.
So it's okay for us to allow those emotions to be as they are,
Yeah.
and
Right.
ultimately what God, the divine grace is doing in and through us is also instilling in us compassion and humility
Hmm.
as you continue on your path in service to others,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Yes.
So even in those moments when you're fearful, when you doubt yourself, when you question yourself,
Hmm.
life is instilling in you that compassion and the humility you need in order for you to serve humanity. So allow yourself to go through that pain, allow yourself to go through that process graciously. Don't be hard on yourself.
That is that is beautiful. You just said that so
Yeah.
beautifully. That is beautiful. I totally agree. And right, Tiffany, she don't want me to call her that. Lady Wisdom. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, Sandra, really now? Guys, it's live. We're going to be real.
Tiffany, Lady Wisdom. Lady Wisdom. We actually did. She's killing me. We we actually did say this. That those feelings, like Tapa said, recognizing them. So we want people to know and recognizing them and not pushing them away. Because I was telling Tiffany that usually when I have those, if you quote unquote, negative emotions, I try to push them away. I force it away and I show up. And in that way, I show up fake because, because I'm feeling somehow, but I'm pretending not to be
Mm.
feeling that way. I'm pretending to be happy, if you may, when I'm really feeling sad. So I decided last week that I wasn't going to do that. And I kind of just stopped answering my calls and stopped talking and just chill in my house and just experience that feeling. I think I lose everybody.
No, no, we're
Oh,
all
we're
here.
here.
Everyone
We're
is
here.
here.
It's just centered on you now, Sandra.
Yes.
Just
You're the focal point.
Yes. I was finishing my point that and when I did that, it felt amazing because I was true to myself, like we started off
Mm,
saying. I was being authentic, I was being real, and I was owning my feelings. And
Mm.
I just waited out until
mm,
it just went away. It went away, and I started feeling my happy self
mm.
again. And I was telling Tiffany, I felt okay, and I didn't want to apologize for that. You know,
You shouldn't.
right?
You should not have to.
Mhm, mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
Right.
guess there's a
And
lot of
much of our spiritual growth as well happens in those moments
Yes.
when we're doubtful, when we're afraid,
Yes.
when anxiety kicks in.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, we're having a great conversation here, and something just came to my mind. There's probably a lot of folks out there that are just isolated, and they don't
Mm.
have people to talk to, or even,
Mm,
to be able to listen to something like this. And they're more focused on the doom.
Mhm.
What,
mm.
Lady Wisdom, what are some points you would mention to people who are going through that particular doom
It's interesting
scenario
you would
at the moment?
ask that, because as you guys were speaking, it just ignited within me the power of God. And I know that we may all have our different views. But what
Hmm.
I want you to know is that you, my love, you are not alone. I'm telling you, God,
Hmm.
So
source, spirit, the universe, that thing that is greater than you and I
Yeah,
dwells
Mm,
on the inside of you.
it's with us.
Even it's so big and so massive that it's even beyond within you. It's every single where around.
Ever.
mm,
Talk to it,
I love it.
whatever that
mm,
is for you. Speak
yes,
with it. Get
yeah,
still.
mhm,
yeah,
Journal. Connect with it.
Hmm.
Don't forget the basic connections of reaching out to family and friends. But
yeah,
more than anything else, I want you to know that you are amazing. You are dope. Your future is bright, exceptional, and amazing things are down the road for you. I don't care what the economy is now. I don't care that the fact that we're
mhm,
dealing with COVID-19. Not that I don't care, but this is the amount of confidence and the faith and the power that I have, knowing that all things are working as it should, including not just for me, but for your life, your friend's life, and your family life.
Right.
hmm,
So have
hmm,
hope, chin up,
right,
don't give
right,
up. And I'm just a message away. If you ever feel low in the dumps, you've got no one to call, you've got no word of encouragement, Lady Wisdom is right in your corner.
right.
All of us,
It-
Sandra is right in your corner. Dr. Natabo is in your corner. Erin is in your corner. You are not alone, my love. You are
yeah.
not
Fantastic,
alone.
Powerful.
fantastic,
Powerful.
fantastic. And I tend to think that this is a calling for individual healing.
Mhm.
I've seen
Mm,
stories of the earth healing. I've seen pictures of
yeah.
rivers in Venice and other places where, because, humans are not there to pollute it, it has a time to reset, restore, and to heal. And I think
Mm,
maybe individually, because now we're isolated, we're in our homes, we're with our families, it's a
mm,
moment to start conversations, to deal with underlying issues that are eating away at you. So I see it as a time to get healed and to eventually transform, so you can be the great power and be the great force that you're called to be
mm.
in this time. Because
Yes.
we're not here by accident. We're not here going
We're
through an
not.
accident event.
No.
We're here because we have a purpose we for being here, and it may not be a grand thing where we can stop everything that's going on, but we have a purpose where we can impact the people in our circle, be it through, like you said earlier, Lady Wisdom, maybe making a phone call, helping somebody do the groceries, listening to somebody as they're going through their doom a moment, just to be a light, to be a guide, to help them. So this is a great opportunity, and I think we should all be able to recognize it and see the good that can come out of here, because the good can come out of here is the ultimate transformation of every
Absolutely.
one of us, every one of us.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Absolutely.
It's just powerful. That's powerful. And
That's powerful.
it came to mind, we always say, I say this a lot, no man is an island and no
Yeah.
man stands alone. And a lot of times we we're so individualistic. We think
Mhm.
we can do this and we can stand alone and we can carry this by ourselves. And this season is teaching us that hell no, we cannot
Mhm.
stand alone. No man is an island, and
Mm-hmm.
every man needs somebody. We are, and right now, look at it. We need each other. And as
Yeah.
you said,
Yeah.
even to somebody who's shut in needs somebody to pick them up some groceries or make them a meal. And this is where the humanness of us comes out. I love it.
Mhm.
I know,
Mm.
I know it's quote unquote a bad
Sandra.
right time. Yes, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
yeah,
We
yeah.
lost you for a
You're
second
playing
there.
hide and go
Just for a
seek, girl.
second.
Yeah, I was just saying it's the right time. The time is
Yes,
now
yes.
to show up for each other. It's
You're
really the
Mhm.
absolutely
right
right.
time.
You're
It
right.
seems like it's dark, but it's the right time. It's going to show us how human we are. This
Yeah,
Mm.
is designed to show the humanness of us. And
yeah.
if we can capture this and show up, I just order like about 7 dozen eggs
Mm.
from the country.
7 dozen.
7 dozen farmed eggs from the
Wow.
country. I order it because I want to share it with my friends.
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
wow.
I mean, yeah, I just ordered Dettol, like 5 bottles, because it's nowhere in the store, and things like this. So if you see something, you pick up two if you can afford to, and you share it.
Mm.
I believe it's a season for sharing. So this is the
Powerful.
this is the hope we have that we're our brother's keeper, and we can do this together. This is the hope.
Mm.
This is the hope. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anybody
I
want
want to.
to go ahead?
Oh, sorry, Sandra. Did I just speak over you?
No, I was just saying. Anybody want eggs?
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Well, there's something that I got from online, and I
Right.
just wanted to read it out to everybody that is listening in.
Go ahead.
It
Mhm.
says, with this open time, you do not have to write the next best-selling novel. You do not have to get in the best shape of your life. You do not have to start that podcast. What you can do instead is observe this pause as an opportunity. The same systems we see crumbling in society are being called to crumble in each of us individually. The systems that taught us we are machines that live to produce and were disposable if we're not doing so. The system that taught us monetary gain takes priority over humanity. The systems that create our insecurities then capitalize off of them. What if we became curious with this free time and had no agenda other than to experience being? What if you created art for the sake of creating? What if you allowed yourself to rest and cry and laugh and play and get curious about whatever arises in you? What if our true purpose is in this space? As if Mother Earth is saying, we can no longer carry on this way. The time is now. I'm reminding you who you are. Will you remember? This is by Emma Zek. These are not my words.
That's
powerful.
deep.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah.
deep.
It says everything we're trying to say that we could
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Remember who you are.
Yes,
I like
this
that.
is the time.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
this is the time for us to remember who we are.
So
And this,
instead of frowning and getting all upset about it, and people are getting upset. I don't know when is this gonna over. I'm bored. I'm this.
Mm.
I'm that. So instead of getting upset about it, can you just send that to everybody under the link that you just read?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
You could just. I love that. What if you could just create for the sake of creating?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could just do that?
Tap into
Mm-hmm.
your genius, your greatness.
What if you could just
Yeah.
be? What if
Yeah.
you just cry and laugh and just be?
Mm-hmm.
And act silly and just be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
have church at home. The churches are closed.
And then I read somewhere that this season as well is reminding us that church is not in the church as in the building, that the church, the kingdom is within us.
It is within us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
this
like,
is where the word becomes flesh. This is
yeah,
where the word becomes flesh.
yeah.
Every
Mm-hmm.
sermon you've ever listened to,
You're
every
carrying it.
empowerment speech you've ever heard, this is where the word is planted upon your heart.
Wow.
And this is where you move and flow in the truth of the word,
Mm.
in the truth of whatever it is that speaks to you.
Yes.
This is when you connect to that more than ever. You have got to realize that you are more than what is around you, but within you there is something greater, and there is something even more massive that you came from. God isn't angry at you. God loves you. God is in love with you. Source, spirit, and the universe, life loves you. Every single one of you. As I go through posts on Facebook, I keep seeing things about God is angry with us. God is this. God ain't angry with you. Let me tell you that.
No.
God is not angry with you. God is in love with you, and God's source spirit, the divine one, is always for us. You, my love, in that corner where you are right now, I'm speaking to your spirit. I want to speak to your soul. I want you to know that you, my love, are not alone.
Powerful.
It's amazing.
Powerful.
So amazing. So amazing.
God is cleaning up the old and making room for the new.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. I'm like trying to take that in. I have many words, but I'm lost for words. Just trying to take that in. You, my love, you're not alone. None of us are alone. And even if you're alone in your house, as in your house alone, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
We're never alone. Never alone. Because as you say, there's this thing that moves within you. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "In you I live, I move, and I have my being." So we're always wrapped up in that amazingness of God. And every time we move, in Him we're moving, in Him we live, in Him we move, in Him we have our being. So we're never alone. And that's why we can rest even in these uncertain days, because we have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. The day after, we have no idea what's going to happen next month. We're almost in April. We don't know how long this is gonna go on, and but the hope that we have will carry us. The hope that we have will carry us. So for those people who don't have hope, how can we help them to get there?
I also know that Aaron is a bit more unique in his views when it comes to spirituality. And for those of you who are not able to connect to it in the way that I might be expressing it or Sandra might be expressing it, Aaron, can you speak to that? I'd like for you to talk to that, because I know you approach, spirituality and connecting with source in a unique and different way, and that's totally cool. I'm all for it.
Well, thank you, Lady Wisdom. Well, for me, I think at this point in time, having that inner peace is very important. Being at peace with who you are is very important. Being confident in who you are, this can help you to weather whatever storm. Not to say that you're not going to have ups and downs, but I think like doing the work prior or even now, getting ready to do the work and just to empty yourself of all pain, all negative, dominant negative thoughts that just send you down that road of despair and doom and gloom. I think this will be a time to get into that. Spirit, you're not alone. We were all created. We all are. I think we're all from source. And we are part of that source, and we have great power within us. It's just for us doing the work to connect with that and know that we're protected, we're guided, and be confident in that. And you're not alone. We have our ancestors with us. We can't see them. They're guiding us. They're battling the war for us. So we have to be confident in that and take no fear. The war is not just here in the physical. It's also in the spiritual. And know that there are those that have gone before us are still with us through our DNA, and they're waging a great battle for us. So let's stand firm and be confident in that, and know that at the end of the day, we will overcome.
Mm-hmm. So what do we say to Natabo? What do we say to, because people are dying, right? Let's not forget this.
Yes.
I don't know if you discussed that earlier on when I kind of lost
Yes.
my connection, but people are dying. So and so those family members are sad, and they're not, maybe they're not as optimistic as we are because they just lost someone. Um, what can we say to them? Because nobody wants to die, but
Yeah.
but we know that we will die at some point. But
Yeah.
especially when a person was really healthy, and or they were right, and you hear about this virus, and then you hear they come to their, to this virus, and now they're gone. How would you encourage those people who may be listening, or who have lost someone or have someone in the hospital?
Right. I think for me, Sandra, I mean, having lost my mother when I was 14, I
Hmm.
think losing a parent or anybody who a loved one, the first question that you ask yourself is why me? Why us? Why my family? And
Hmm.
what I would say to everybody who has lost a loved one is understand that pain, the pain of losing your loved one is serving a purpose in your life. You may not fully understand it right this moment, but
Hmm.
as we go along, as life continues and well, you'll come to understand that they too played their part in
Hmm.
this world. And unfortunately, their time had ended now, but there is a purpose in them going in this way at this point in time. So it's for them to accept what is, to surrender to it,
Hmm.
and allow life to give them the answers as to why they had to go at this point, and hoping that in time they'll find hope and purpose even in their loved ones passing away. That's what I would say.
I
So
love that.
continue on, soldier on.
Mhm.
Don't ask yourself why it's happening to you. Instead, understand that even this moment is serving a higher purpose, a higher good in your life.
Wow.
I love that you mentioned purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you're asking to see the purpose in that, and our
Mm-hmm.
show is really walking with purpose,
Mm-hmm.
understanding. And so I just want to plug there, understanding that everything that happened to us, whether we call it good or bad, because I really believe that there's no bad thing. I believe
Mm-hmm.
that everything is a teacher, or
Yeah.
everything is a lesson, or it's
Mm-hmm.
not really a bad thing. But when we're walking through that thing because there's pain attached to it or fear
Mm-hmm.
attached to it, we call it bad. But
Mm-hmm.
I love what you say, because if we're living on purpose and walking with purpose, in purpose, true purpose, to this amazing destiny, then we
Mm-hmm.
know that these things are going to happen along the way.
Right.
But I believe the power is in how we handle it, how we
Mm-hmm.
how we accept it or don't accept it. I guess that's where the power lies, like you said. And so I'm with you on that. I really believe that is very, very powerful. It's
Right.
And
And
accepting of it. Yeah.
particularly, Sandra, everything that happens to us, it's all about the meaning that we give it,
Ah.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
For me
Yes.
now, looking back at the death of my mother when I was young,
Hmm.
um, that was the moment that my higher self was born.
Hmm.
That was the moment that changed the trajectory of my life.
Hmm.
That was the moment that allowed me to connect with my higher self. And it was in that moment of pain. But I couldn't have articulated it this way then. But it's
Right.
only now looking back that I can see through it as the greatest gift.
Right.
Wow.
So that in itself was a gift to me in my journey. And that's what led me on this path, leading me to into spirituality, but more than anything, um, the death of my mother would say gave birth to who I am, the true essence of who I am.
Wow.
So your pain is serving a purpose in your journey. It's for you to receive it and to allow it to be and surrender to it. There's a reason why you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. And Sandra, you did mention that in the great scheme of life, there's no bad.
No.
Whatever is happening right now is for your
Yeah,
higher good.
definitely.
You
But
know, and it's,
allow your,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Tiffany, it's fine.
No, you're not through yet. It's fine. Continue.
No, no, no. I was done. Really, I was done.
All I'm saying is allow yourself to move through the process of grief. Natabo has spoken about the levels which you usually evolve to after you've gone through some difficulties. But usually when it happens right away, I'm not thinking about my higher self. I'm
Right.
thinking
Mm,
about how did I lose my family.
Yeah,
So go through the process of grieving. That's
yeah,
normal and it's healthy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
mm,
in time, even after you've lost someone that is close and near and dear to you, as
Mm-hmm.
time unfolds, while you will always miss them, you
mm,
will begin to grow into a different level of awareness and a different level of consciousness. But do
Mm-hmm.
not
mm,
believe that grieving is anything bad. It isn't. It's actually necessary.
It is
Yeah,
necessary.
yeah.
It is
definitely.
necessary. And there's a few different steps and stages to it. So I encourage that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It may take, there's no set time as to how long you should grieve.
right.
Take
Yeah.
however long it takes you to grieve. But if you stay with it, know that there is always something amazing and dope on the other end of
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
difficulties, of trials and tribulations. There's always
mm,
something dope on the other end if you keep moving forward. Another thing that I'm hearing, I tend to get these insights when I'm connecting in these experiences. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of you are called into creative avenues right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're sensing within your spirit to set order. I know that some of you are home and you're not needing to get up now and, follow a schedule and go to work. But
Mm-hmm.
some of you are actually being called to create a schedule and
mm,
stick with it.
mm.
At the end of this process, some of you would have come out
You're
with a
preaching
book.
to me.
Some of you will have come out with a new project. Now,
Ah,
the key to being successful in that is to not put pressure on yourself, is to recognize that you're unique, that you're an individual, you've
Mm,
got your own giftings and talents. But
mm-hmm.
be tuned in with your intuition more than anything else, because when
mm,
everything else is gone, when all fades away, all you have is that's what within. So trust it.
mm.
Ah,
Trust it. If
It's
you're being
powerful.
called to something, do it.
yes.
Move with it. Don't second
Mm.
guess yourself. Just do it.
Yeah, and to add on to what Tiffany said,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to ask yourself how it's gonna happen. Just trust it, flow with it, and
Mm-hmm.
allow the divine clarity to come as you're walking along your journey. Because I think for a lot of people, myself included, I'm always trying to figure out how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to give birth to that idea, how I'm
Yeah.
going to give birth to that movement. It's not for you to ask yourself those questions.
Right.
It's for you to just take it one step at a time and allow yourself to be used by God, um, for that greater purpose. It's beyond you, it's bigger than you. Just allow yourself to be used and flow with it, be one with it, and operate from that space of your purpose, operate from being that which
Mm-hmm.
you're called to be.
Ah,
Nice, nice. No,
go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
I like that, the Tabo. Yes, allow yourself to feel the feelings, the emotions, and at some point down the road, you're going to make peace with it, and then you're going to
Mm,
find the greater good from the whole situation. And I think that's very powerful. After we go through a grieving process. We deal with it, and when the dust is settled, we eventually connect with the higher good in the situation, and I think that's the ultimate.
How are you feeling, Aaron? How are you feeling right now?
I'm more concerned for those around me, my family,
Mm-hmm.
but me, I take it day by day.
mm,
I don't allow the doom and gloom. I don't have a TV, so I don't watch TV. So I don't take in the media. I
Yeah,
don't I don't take in the negative stuff that's going on in the news.
amazing.
And that helps me sleep well at night.
Yes.
Because sometimes the brain, whatever you allow to go into your mind, it just acts on it at a subconscious level.
Mhm.
And actually, you know what? Prior to this whole thing, for a few weeks before, I was having problems sleeping, honestly, and I couldn't figure out why. But I guess stuff was going on subconsciously,
Mm.
but the last few weeks I've been fine.
You've been sleeping through this
Yeah,
corona thing.
what's that?
You've been sleeping through this corona thing.
I'm sleeping like a baby. And I don't mean to belittle the whole thing, but it's just there's nothing I can do, right?
Right.
We're in this situation. I just take it day by day. When people are out buying toilet paper, I was here. I have a 30 rolls and I'm good. I'm good. There's no rush to go out and get anything. Be part of the hysteria, not get caught up in the hysteria. And it's just to help my family through this situation. Let's remain calm and let's take it one day at a time. Let's not think too far ahead. And whatever comes our way, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it as a family and as a unit. Here at home and as a community. I think we just got to stay cool, stay calm, and it's not something that we can change tomorrow. But I think the more we stay calm within ourselves, and just be an example to others around us in terms of how to deal with this situation, I think ultimately, a lot of good's going to come out of it. But we all have to come together and be one accord, in a manner of speaking, whereby we're all clear, we're thinking clearly, and we're doing all the right things, to protect ourselves and our family and the community at large.
Yes. How about you, Tabo? How are you feeling? How are you truly feeling?
I'm feeling hopeful. I was having a conversation with Aaron, earlier on today, and I was saying to him that I'm not even bothered by all this that is going on. But what I'll say to the people that are fearful, that have a lot of questions within them, I will say that just trust this moment. It doesn't have to make sense to you right now, but trust that all things unfolding as they are supposed to. Um, there's um, there's a quote that I read earlier on today. It said, "All great things are preceded by a mess and a chaos."
Mm.
So trust that this mess that the world is going through, I don't even want to call it a mess. Let me call it a beautiful mess. The beautiful mess that the world is going through right now is giving birth to a new ad.
Let's just be honest. The hot mess that the world is going through right
It's a beautiful mess, Sandra, because it's giving birth to something new.
Yeah.
now.
It's giving birth to a new earth, and that's why I would love to call it a beautiful mess. There
Okay.
is divinity in all of this. You just have to trust this. Trust your emotions. Whatever it is that you're feeling right now, it's okay for you to experience that and
Mm.
to go through that because you are human. Just understand that there's a divine purpose that is manifesting in and through us individually, but also collectively in the earth. So
Yeah.
just flow with it and trust it. All things unfolding exactly like how they're supposed to be.
And
Amen.
find yourself a
Tiffany,
centering thought, a
Tiffany,
centering
how are you
thought.
feeling? Tiffany.
Ah,
Lady wisdom.
okay. So you know what? I live with this dope family, like this granny and my auntie, and they're just like some intensely strong faith people. And you go up to them, you're like, oh, COVID-19. They're like, who, what's going on? I'm like, well, this is real. It's happening out there. It's at some people's doorstep.
Right.
But what I'm saying is this, is that what I believe is keeping them is just their centering thought,
Mm-hmm.
that they're protected,
Their
that
faith.
they're guided.
Mhm.
Their faith is holding them together. And again, as I said, even in moments of difficulties and hurt. So for those of you where coronavirus is at your doorstep, because I've been in pain before, for those of you who have to rush a family member to the hospital this very instant. For those of you who a phone call just came in to say, you know what, such and such didn't make it, I want you to hold the centering thought, I am peace, I am peace, I am peace, I am peace, I am peace.
I am peace.
Sit with it for a moment. So if you ask me, how am I doing? It depends. It depends on which day you speak with me. I have a tendency of living in a space of outside of myself a lot because of the experiences I've had. I've been through a lot. I felt a lot of emotional pain, a lot of emotional pain. So being disassociated from my being, my natural self is a common place for me to be. It's normal. It's normal for me, and I've gotten used to that. And this is why I speak so much on embracing the truth of who you are, which is a spiritual self. Because a lot of times we will not be able to explain what is going on around us. You will not be able to make sense of it. If I'm to look at my life this very instant, I would think I'm a failure. But no, I keep walking and looking ahead and trusting that there's something above, there's something beyond this that I don't see. There's something beyond this that I don't understand. But more than anything else, I am resting in the presence and in the arms of the universe. Whatever that is for you, I suggest you do the same. Sending you lots of love and light.
Awesome.
So as you touch on being more connected to the spiritual self, I really think this is where our world needs to be. And when we say spiritual self, a lot of people think we're talking about religion of some sort.
We're not.
And that's not what we're talking about. We're saying because your body, your spirit, you're also spirit, which is greater than the body. But we spend so much time in the natural space, as you said, and we don't connect to the spiritual. This is where the healing is. This is where you feel invincible, really, because dying, that's gonna happen, but when, so what, kind of a thing. But you know that you're living in a, when you're living in your spiritual self, you're living in a healthy space. That means nothing that can come. Like, I'm thinking about this, and I tell my mind that if this could come to me, I feel like I go back to the word that said, I can eat poison and not die. You know, I can drink poison and not die. I can walk on a serpent and I'm not going to be bitten. And I actually really truly believe that. So if in my mind, I'm telling my mind, if I get COVID, whatever that is, it can't kill me. I won't die. So I'm like you said, I'm not worried about it. I'm really just sad that we're kind of on pause, and I'm not sad anymore. Now I'm actually happy we're in pause because people get to talk. Look at us. We're in our homes and we're talking. And people get to reach out to each other. Somebody called me today that I don't know. I keep telling her I don't remember you. I don't know who you are. But it didn't matter. We had a conversation. She said, I knew you when you were growing up. I have no idea who this lady is. Probably she'll watch the show. But it was amazing. She reached out and we had a great conversation. And I'm like, wow, people have time on their hands that they can look up people and find them and call them. And that's a great thing.
Yes.
Great thing to reach out and call somebody you haven't even spoken to ever. Why not? Let's try that. Somebody did that with me today. Call a stranger and say, hey, I hope you're well. I hope keep safe. I'm shouting for you. I'm praying for you. I'm sending you positive energy. So this is how we live in the spirit. We're not so much concerned about what's happening in the world, but we're more concerned about feeding the spirit, uplifting the spirit. And when we uplift the spirit, it's natural that we're going to share. We're going to give of ourselves.
Definitely.
And the time is definitely now to embrace your spiritual identity more than any other time. The time is now for that. The time is today, this very moment. And again, like I said, it's whatever speaks to you and how you connect to it. I'm not giving you a formula. I recognize that spirituality can be very unique and flows different for different people. And I like to allow that freedom for you to be. But if there's ever a time for you to connect to the spirit self, that time is now. If you've got any challenges in the sense of how do I begin this journey? Where do I start? Any one of us, either myself, Sandra, Dr. Natabo, or even Aaron, all of us will be able to guide you through. Again, I'm just a message away. But if there's any time for you to connect to the spirit self, which I believe is the truth of who you are, it is now.
It's now.
Absolutely.
It is now.
Absolutely.
So I think we're almost out of time. So we're going to say goodbye to our viewers, and then you're going to get off and you're going to share, right?
Okay.
Share. But I want you all to say a last word. So last word, Aaron.
Well, just say, people, take care of yourself. You know, get connected to yourself. You know, take this opportunity to go within and you know, break connections to things that's been taking up your energy, and focus your energy in the direction that you want to go with your life, and see the outcome that you desire for your life in this period. And you know, eat right as much as you can, as much you can get hold of. You know, keep your body healthy, exercise, keep moving, and you know, we will all come through this period.
Amazing. Okay. Last word, Tabo. Last word.
Can you guys see me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. Your screen's frozen.
And I cannot see myself, but that's okay. I think you stay safe. Stay at home, unless you have to go to work, of course. But this is the time within yourself, and to stay connected as use this period to figure out what your life's calling is, and aligning yourself with the things that is over your life. The hand above you lead you. Stop asking how.
Yeah, you're cutting out. Okay, Tiffany, did you want to go last word?
Sure.
Yeah.
Be still and know. Be still and know that God is, and all things are unfolding as it should. Be still and know that God is, and all things are unfolding as it should. Be still and know that God is, and all things are unfolding as it should. Peace.
I love it.
Thank you, Lady Wisdom.
I'm just gonna repeat your last word. I'm not even gonna think of one. Be still and know that God, and I'm gonna say that God is God. He's still in control. He's in control of everything, of everyone, of every decision. God is still in control. And for now, guys, amazing. Thank you for joining us. We lost Tabo, but that's okay. Thank you and good night.
I believe Aaron still has his last words. Did you already say your last words, Aaron?
Yes.
First one. He did say, "Oh, okay.
All right.
Did you guys hear me? Did you guys hear me when I was speaking?
No,
we heard some of it. You were cutting in and out.
Okay, last word. You have a minute.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, oh my goodness. All I wanted to say is stay safe, stay at home. Don't go outside if you don't have to, unless you have to go to work.
Right.
Stay connected. This is the time for you to go within yourself, to ask yourself what you're here to do. Start aligning yourself with your higher purpose. Stop asking yourself how you're going to get there, how you're going to give birth to that thing that is in you. Just surrender to it and trust each moment that life is guiding you and bringing you into the full manifestation of that which already is in you. You're protected, you're guided, you are the light in the tunnel.
Awesome.
With that said, I think it's a good place to say amen.
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 So be it.
So it is, and so shall it be.
Hallelujah.
We don't have to take ourselves off. Chief?
I want to give thanks to Dork Radio and TV, Chief